Mhm. Welcome, dear leaders. So let me. So let's start this live. So welcome, dear leaders. In this video, I will solve your biggest problem in your life, namely being too busy to finding time for a morning yoga practice. And what I'm asking of you is 10 to 20 minutes. So if you're too busy and you're failing to find 10 to 20 minutes in your day, especially in the morning for yoga practice, you're in trouble. And how I'm going to solve this problem is simple. If you're watching this video, then admit it. You're watching it on social media. That means you have time to waste. You have time to waste. So it's not a problem of having time. It's a problem of not having enough motivation to invest this time into the yoga practice. So once we're clear that you have enough time, that you're wasting it already during the day, more than 10 minutes on browsing social media, and we know that we have time, we know that the biggest problem lies in the fact that we're not really motivated to invest this time into yoga practice. We're more motivated to being busy and holding up our excuses. Before we deal with these issues, let me explain you why is yoga so important, and it's more important than being busy. So how is this your biggest problem? So the question is, how is being busy your biggest problem when you compare it to investing in your yoga? So being busy is like addiction. It starts simple and innocent, but over time you realize that it consumes more and more of your time. And before you know it, you prioritize being busy over your health, being busy over your fitness. And sooner or later, you might realize it starts consuming also other parts of your life. Some parts that are maybe a bit more important than your health and fitness for you at the moment, like your relationships, your productivity, your any area of your life, finances, business, any area you want to imagine in your life, whatever could be important to you, being busy can consume it over time if you're not careful enough. And as you say, as the saying goes, do it. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So that's it. It just overlays. So soon you start with the first. You start with those categories in your life which you have the least motivation, and for a lot of people, it's health and fitness. But soon, before you know it, it starts taking other ones as well. So if you're not able to find 10 to 20 minutes for your yoga practice, then you're in trouble. And I advise you to find some motivation to take care of the most important thing in your life, your health and fitness. Just face it. If you're not healthy, if you're not fit, you're not able to serve anyone. What kind of leader can you be if you're too busy, not healthy, and not fit? What kind of example are you leading with? So when we have that one clear, we have our reasons, all we need to do is getting over all the excuses we have about not doing morning yoga practice. And so before we go in there, let me touch upon the motivation part. So the biggest insight I can give you about motivation is that self-motivation, when you put yourself as a primary focus, why you should be doing yoga practice in the morning is not sustainable for most people. You might have enough willpower to do it for one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, maybe even a decade, you can motivate yourself to get up, do the practice, but sooner or later, there might be some exception, something might happen, and ego-based, self-based motivation usually doesn't last. It gets tested, definitely it gets tested. So what I advise you to link as a leader, you probably know that what motivates you the most, what's the strongest motivation, is someone else. If there's like your family, your colleagues, your clients, whatever that is you're serving, whoever is you're serving, if you can put them as a reason for you having this example, it serves you better. And if you can accept this is good enough reason, this will drive you, this will sustain you. If the reason is good enough, this will be the force that drives you to keep on practicing daily, weekly, whatever your minimum standard set point is. So once we have clear this, we have time, we have motivation, let's get over those silly excuses. And the number one tip I can give you how to get over those excuses is sometimes listen to other people's excuses. So once you realize how silly are the excuses other people put in front of them in order not to do those things, you might realize, wait, my reasons might be as silly. Or maybe I have the same silly excuses, and from other people they sound silly. So they're definitely silly for me. So what I can offer you in this video are my own silly excuses in a hope that it might help you. So my number one silly excuse for not, for example, sharing this video, not filming this video, and not doing yoga practice was till this morning, actually, till this morning was that had this really stupid thought, a stupid concept that in order to be successful in airing, launching, and providing people with 10 to 20 minutes yoga practices, I have to prove them that 10 to 20 minutes yoga practice is enough. And I'm stopping this experiment right now because I realized that it's not enough for me. It might be enough for you, and it's definitely more than enough than not practicing at all. However, for my situation, for my goals, for my vision of how I want my body fitness, how much energy I want to store in my body, for my vision, for my goals, 10 to 20 minutes daily in the morning, just that is not enough. So I should stop this silly idea, silly experiment, because for me it failed. It's not enough for me. I need to do something else later on during the day to keep my fitness at the levels I want for myself. However, if you don't have so high standards for your energy levels, your fitness, health, for the things you want to do, you don't want to do handstands, you don't want to do floating, you don't want to be able to climb a mountain any day with ease and joy. If you don't have these kind of standards for your life, 10 to 20 minutes might be more than enough. And remember, if you don't have 10 minutes in a day, you don't have a life. You have time. So what you want to do is realize that silly excuses like, should I practice or should I not? It doesn't stand any reason. You need to find 10 to 20 minutes. You must find 10 to 20 minutes to invest in yourself. So that was my silly excuse. And just quickly, why you must find 10 to 20 minutes. If you don't find 10 to 20 minutes in a day, in the morning, how likely you are to find those 10 to 20 minutes later on in the evening, afternoon? Usually, you're either too hungry or too full to do those things, or you have loads of other things you haven't done yet. You're just too busy. So, first things first. And the second reason why you must do it in the morning is to prime yourself for a day, to raise that energy level, to show up for other people on your best. So what kind of example you're leading to other people if you're not fit, if you're not energized by this morning practice. So my number one silly excuse was I wasn't enough yesterday, I'm not enough today, and I'm probably not going to be enough tomorrow. So therefore, I'm not going to practice today. And remember, now is the only time you have. Now is the only time we have in our lives. So use it, do it now. Don't procrastinate. Don't get into this silly thought that, no, I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or maybe I'm going to do it Monday or next Monday. No. Only thing your body has, only thing your body cares is now, this moment, nothing else. Doesn't matter if you did it yesterday, doesn't matter if you're going to do it tomorrow. Your body doesn't care about these things. All your body cares about deeply is now, this present moment. And that's all we have. If you know anyone who has lived in a past, who's going to be in the future, let me know. That's going to be first person. But everyone, all we have experience is now. So that's the first and the biggest excuse is that I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it later. No, you're going to do it now. Next silly excuse is that I'm not fit enough. One of the biggest motivators for me to do the yoga practice and yoga teaching is gaining significance because I'm stronger, I can do things, I'm helping people, I'm motivating. And one of the excuses, which is not really true, which I realized after contemplating, is that I have to be the best ever yoga teacher. I have to be able to do all these flow things, and I have to really impress people with my fitness level. And if I'm not my best fitness level, it's not enough to practice. You probably have lower standards, so you're probably thinking, nah, I'm not good enough compared to those other people in the yoga class. So I'm not going to go for yoga class. So for me, it might get silly when I say it. I have these higher standards. You might find it silly, but realize that you might have the same thing happening in your mind. It's just lower the standard. You're comparing, maybe not to myself, maybe you're comparing yourself to other students. They're gonna laugh at me. I'm not gonna be good enough. Same excuse. You're comparing with someone else, and you're just taking the other side of the coin. Instead of not saying I'm not significant enough, you're saying I'm not good enough. It's the same thing, same story. So what my excuse now is that I'm thinking that I'm really in a worse shape. I'm not really able to do all those things I was able to do even a month ago. Why? Well, simply enough because it was a kind of a chain reaction. It was like a compounding effect. What happened to me was that first, I'm not perfect. I have loads of stress in my mind. I'm also really busy and I'm doing lots of stuff during the day and stressing about it, feeling that I'm not doing good enough. And this stress gathers in the body. Before I had the silly experiment of doing only 10 to 20 minutes of practice a day, I was doing more yoga and my stress got released. So it compensated. However, once I lowered the physical exercise, my stress release lowered and the stress in the body started accumulating until one day my diet wasn't perfect. I wasn't having balanced enough diet. That's another story. And everything compounded until I got infection. And with this infection, over 2 weeks of period, I really lost a load of my strength. As I'm recovering, as I'm not practicing, I'm even lowering my practice even more. So it starts compounding even more, and I'm losing my strength, vitality, and everything. So now at this present moment, my excuse is I'm not good enough for you guys to lead a yoga practice. So that's it. I'm not going to practice. Well, how silly it is. If you realize that not practicing adds to my infection, my recovery, not practicing, not teaching, it just makes it worse. So that's the second silly excuse I have. And the third silly excuse is that I still have a bit of infection on my foot and it's gonna make huge mess on my yoga mat. I'm not able to practice all the postures. You probably hear this one. I'm not able to all the postures other people are doing. I'm not able to do the practices I was doing last year, last month. I'm just not good enough. So therefore, I'm not going to practice. How silly does it sound? You might have heard this story before. I'm not good enough now, so I'm not going to practice. I'm going to do it later. I'm just going to wait till automatically my fitness level increases, or I'm going to practice on my own. I'm not going to join any gyms, any yoga classes, any yoga studios where other people see me. So therefore, I'm going to practice on my own. I'm going to master my willpower. And what happens? You're too busy today. You're not joining. You're not using the leverage of accountability, joining yoga classes online, yoga classes in studios, and you're relying on your own willpower to overcome your own busyness. And without motivation, with all these excuses being more important than health, remember, whenever you fail to invest in your morning yoga practice, you send your mind a signal that excuses, lack of motivation, and being just purely busy is more important than yourself. That impacts negatively your self-esteem, and that impacts all the other areas of your life. And you become a worse leader. That's what it is. And so I think it's enough ranting. It's around 16 minutes I've been talking and trying to explain you that excuses don't hold any water, and you just must have this morning routine. Let me guide you for 10 to 15 minutes, show you, lead you by example with 10 to 20 minutes of yoga practice. So let's start. Let's put a timer on so we don't cheat ourselves. We're busy people, have loads of things happening in our lives. So let's find our way onto the mat and start the practice. This is yoga with Tom. Yeah, here we don't take things too seriously. We try to have it fun. So you might not see my head in this live. Doesn't matter. It's another excuse why not to do the practice. So we start by finding ourselves onto the mat. Second, we'll just do Tai Chi twist. We're not strict here in yoga. We do all kinds of things here. We borrow things from Tai Chi, from calisthenics, from Pilates, from everything. Because we remember that yoga is about connecting with yourself, having experience, and taking care of our body. We don't care about what other people expect from being a yoga practice. All we care about is taking care of our body, being present, and just practicing, investing our time. And then there's many levels how you can do it. And my actually objective here is not to teach you yoga. I might give you some quick tips and tricks how to practice better, but my objective is not to actually teach you yoga, which might happen because I love teaching it as well. My objective here is to just inspire, motivate you to get over being busy and just invest in yourself. Now we're just jumping it out. This is really great exercise. And why it's so great? Because it releases stress. So anytime during the day you feel physical stress, I invite you to smile, shake your body up. You don't need to jump if you don't want to. You can do it like this. Heck, you could even shake your ass. This is scientifically proven method. When you shake your ass, however you do it, it makes you smile, makes you happy, releases happy hormones, and it's really powerful way of feeling better. So I recommend shake your ass before the yoga practice, just secretly. If you're afraid that someone else might laugh at you, do it in a bathroom. 30 seconds, shake your ass. Okay, let's continue on. with our practice. Now let's do a bit more traditional version of yoga. So let's find ourselves in the beginning of the mat. We're starting doing our breath control, ujjayi breathing, if that's something you know. Never mind, if you don't know what I'm talking about, find it out later. Let's practice mountain pose. Tilt the pelvis forward, contract abdominal muscles, shoulders back and forward, chest open, arms right under the body. The main objective is not really how you control, how good you are. The main objective is here to be aware how your body is positioned in a space. So just being aware of the body grounds you and brings you back to the present moment instead of being stuck in your mind. That's what you don't want. That's the antidote we're looking for here. And as you have more things to control in your body, your breath, you're practicing deeper practice of yoga. As simple as that. Inhale up. Another thing, if you're able to synchronize your movements with your breath, exhale down. You're having more control of your body and you're grounding yourself more into the present moment. Inhale half air. Exhale down. You can jump, float, or just step down into the plank. Let's hold here for another breath. Inhale. Contract your whole muscles. Squeeze your body tight, tight, tight. And exhalation, lower plank. Lower yourself all the way down or just hovering above the ground. Try to smile. Remember yourself to smile. Inhalation. Let's go for a swing. Slide your hands forward. Open up the chest. Bend your knees. Shoulders back and down. Squeeze your arms into the mat or into the floor. Make sure they're firm. Pull your belly down and forward into the mat. This is brilliant pose. This is one of my favorite poses. Why? Because it gives you so much control. You can really warm up your back, especially in the morning when your body is stiff. You can choose the force you're applying to your body. Remember, this is yoga. This is not exhaustion. So we don't try to make any damage to our bodies. What we really after is enjoy the practice. So try to notice what kind of emotions you feel. Are you smiling? That's a big feedback loop. If you're smiling, it's probably sending there's definitely sending some positive hormones through your bloodstream, and your body is more likely to remember this as fun and enjoyable experience, and it's more likely to want it to repeat it. Also the mind. So Sphinx, I love twists. So let's look over your left shoulder. Keep your shoulders back and down, chest pushing forward, but at this time, slightly to your left. Look over your left shoulder, back. And just keep observing and breathing. Inhale forward. Exhale, twist over your right shoulder. We're trying to practice balance here. Same or similar things to both sides. Inhale middle. Exhale down. Let's go for upward facing dog. Inhalation, upward facing dog. You can keep your knees on the ground. You can keep them lift them up, open up the chest, straighten your arms. Exhalation, downward facing dog. First dog of the day, usually I recommend to walk it out. Usually the body is a bit stiff here. And I recommend bend your knees. In a downward facing dog, I recommend focus on your spine, focus on your back, focus on relaxing your neck, shake your neck out, even close your eyes. Look between your legs. Why look between your legs? What you don't want to do, you don't want to lift your head off above your shoulders, above your arms. So first, arms straight, firmly into the mat. Your chest pressing closer to your knees. Knees bent, heels up off the ground. You want to bring your chest, bring your body closer to your legs, straight spine, your pelvis going back and up. And once you're here with your spine straight, stretching, really squeezing your spine with your arms going down to the mat, your butt going back and up, you can start straightening your legs slowly, one by one. And once your legs are straight, maybe you can put your heels onto the ground. Don't worry about these small details. This is just a matter of practice, of dedication and flexibility. Flexibility is a skill, it's not an inherent thing. Anyone can get flexible. It's just that some people, it's easier to them for develop flexibility. And for some people, it's a bit harder. But everyone can get flexible if they're dedicated enough. Okay, long enough in a downward facing dog. Let's go for a tabletop. Bend your knees, cat and cow. Inhale, open up the chest, chin up, pelvis up. Exhale, close, chin to the chest, pelvis forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. This is great exercise also for moving up bodily fluids and for the back, lower back. You have so much control in this exercise and it's really healthy for your hips. Also, hips is the place where where you store your long-term emotions. So it's really good for the females, also for the males, to release long-term emotions. So don't worry if you get emotional during this exercise. You're naturally releasing something stored up in your body, and your body becomes more free. Also, the shoulders and your neck. The shoulders and neck are known for storing the short-term emotion. So that's why when you're sitting a long day on the computer, first you feel your neck stiff, then you feel some pain and discomfort in your shoulders. So I recommend moving your shoulders as well. Well done. Let's go for downward facing dog again. Exhale out. Inhalation, jump step forward into the half up, spine parallel to the ground. Now let's stay here. You can keep your arms onto your knees, or you can go with your arms parallel to the ground. What I like to do is have some variety here by moving my arms parallel to the ground, some shoulder mobility, forward, back, trying to be as parallel as I can. And if I want to be a bit more active today, I can put my hands over my head. Inhale up, exhale down, mountain pose. Let's go for some rotation. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale halfway up, exhale down. You can jump step. Usually first one is step for me. Inhale up, exhale up. Now let's meet here in a down facing dog. You can always go for a child's pose, stay in a down dog, or if you feel like challenging yourself, lift up into the three-leg dog. Try to keep your both legs as straight as possible, and let's stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Let's do the same thing for other leg as well. Inhale up, exhale, hold. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. And from here, let's go for forward. Inhale up, halfway up, exhale down. Relax. Inhale halfway up, exhale down. Let's play around with the routines. Inhale up, exhale down into the mountain pose. If you don't know what to do in your yoga practice, just practice 5 sun salutations in the morning. That's the minimum you should be doing. You must be doing. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhalation halfway up, exhalation down. Well, normally I'm floating at this point. At the moment, I'm not in my best shape, so I'm just taking it low. Inhale up, taking it slow, still enjoying the practice, which is most important thing, still showing up for myself into the downward facing dog. You can always go for odd twist here, smile, look underneath your left shoulder, right hand to the left leg, back to the middle, stay as long as you want. Exhale, twist. Hold it for a couple of breaths. Inhale, middle. On exhalation, walk your hands back to your feet, bend your knees, and find yourself into the squat. One of my favorite postures. Why? Because the squat was the one thing, the last thing, which helped me to get into my lotus pose. So that's why I love squats. And it's so simple. You can just sit here, wait. As I said, doesn't really matter. Your heels could be off the ground, down the ground. However, if you like to challenge yourself, if you feel like being playful, you can always go for a twist. Wrapping your right hand around your right leg, inhale up. You can stay here, exhaling, twisting, or if you feel like, you can always go for a bind, grabbing your left hand into your right. If you like comparing yourself with others, that's fine. Just don't judge yourself and don't put your self-esteem as a result of comparison. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do the same thing to other side. Wrapping your left arm around your left leg. Inhale up. We're already 30 minutes here in the practice. You can stay here. Already want to go for the finishing sequence. Because I'm talking too much today, I'm doing a bit slower practice, which is fine. Every day the practice can and will be different. Some days faster, sometimes slower. Some days you can put more asanas into the practice, and sometimes in those 15 minutes, there's not enough. You feel like not enough, but it is enough. So from here, I like to go for Navasana to work on our abs. One of my favorites, and also one of the most neglected poses I haven't done in a while. So my abs are really weak at this moment because before then I was doing this every day, daily, for like 5 to 15 breaths. And now I'm barely doing it here. I'm not feeling comfortable. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I can regain my strength with the practice. That's certain. So I'm just doing it. What I like to do is just lift T, lifting butt off the ground. Don't worry about if you're not able to lift your legs. Maybe you can lift one leg, maybe do the both, and just enjoy the practice. Normally I do 3 rounds. Today I don't have time for that. I'm just going straight to the finishing to some breathing exercise. So I recommend you to do any breathing exercise you want. My main, when I'm lazy, because I'm doing a breath of fire anyways, during the day on my different practices, before and after meditation, I like to do Bumble Bee Breath, which is great for clearing the mind, and I would recommend to repeat it for at least a couple of times. Here I'm just demonstrating it, the minimum, bare minimum, covering my ears with my thumbs, covering my eyes with the index and middle finger, and covering my nostrils with my pinky. No, the ring finger. Pinky can be on your lips or just free over the air. Take a deep inhale in, elbows parallel to the ground, open up chest, straighten the spine, and exhaling, closing the mouth and regulating with your ring finger, openness of your nostrils, hum the letter M. Doesn't matter how long or fast or loud you are. Repeat it a couple of times, as many times as you want. The more times you practice it, the more benefits of clearing the migraines, headaches, and just more clarity in your mind. And because this, after all, is yoga with Tom. Let's finish up the class and chanting mantra Om. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale. Mantra Om consists of 3 sounds, A, O, M. And exhaling, chant Ah. Congratulations. It's been already 17 minutes on yoga practice. Congratulations. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you feel more energy. You definitely feel better. You have your self-esteem because you invest in yourself. And before you leave the yoga mat, I encourage you to notice how you leave the yoga mat. Are you just rushing up to your phone? What are your first thoughts? Just observe. As you do one thing is how you do everything. Let's see if I can still stand up. I haven't done these in a while. Feel like an old man here. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. Hope you got to the very end of it. I know it's a pretty long video and there's probably like just a couple of raving fans listening to my rant here in the beginning and then actually taking the practice. Anyway, let me know if there's at least one person which found any value in this video whatsoever. You can acknowledge it by pressing that like button or subscribing to this channel or just dropping in a comment. Let me know any feedback, much appreciated. As always, try to smile as often as you can. Stay present. Use your breath, observe your body, practice yoga, and get over those excuses of being busy. Being busy is addiction. It's a bad habit. Just forget about it. Prioritize what's really important in your life, having fun, enjoying, and having more time to spend it with your loved ones, doing the things you love. See you on the next one. Be present. Namaste. So let's end this live here.